in 2017 we did a number of videos, and but our series have been the mindset change and or the changing of the mind settings, and we are still on about the changing of the mind settings. And I hope that we get to pick up on this issue and we do something about it. Based on the videos that I have done throughout this year, I've had a few feedback from other people, and some people have asked me, why do we have to change our mindset? And we have talked about this before, and I've said, on the first video that we talked about, we said if we are going to change our mind, our lives, then our minds have got to change. But then before we get to where we change our mindset, we need to get to a stage where we are tired of what we are, of where we are, of who we are, and how we are. So we need to get to that stage, and then we get tired. But of course, maybe to clarify it a little bit further, and maybe point out a few things that maybe will point to you that you need to have a mindset change. There's a number of things that happen in our lives, and sometimes we are not aware of what is happening, or those things are happening. But I want you to think about these things, and if these things are happening to yourself, then you must know that it is time for you to change your mind settings so that you think differently and you think positively, and you begin also to act positively. So, for example, if in your life and you find yourself focusing all the time on the wrong things, whatever goes wrong, it is that which you emphasize, it is that which you focus on. Whenever you're focusing on the wrong all the time, then you must know that you need to change your mind settings, because there's also the positive side of things. You also need to be looking at the positive side of things. So that's number one, focusing on the wrong things all the time. So you must know that it's time for change. Also, you should also know that some people don't want to face the truth. When things are being said to them, when people tell you the truth as it is, or when the truth happens as it is, most of us do not want to accept it, and do not want to work with the truth. And we want things to happen the way we plan, and want things to happen the way we think, despite the truth happening out there. We need to embrace the truth, and we need to run with the truth, or be it we need to learn from the truth, or be it we need to get something from what is happening, from the true situation that is happening, rather than trying to pretend that the truth is not happening. So that's another sign as well that we need to change our mindset when we are focusing also on the fact that when we can't face the truth, and when we find ourselves also mourning all the time because, oh, I failed to do this, I failed to do that, I failed to do that, I failed. If you're mourning all the time about your failures, you're focusing again on your failures rather than focusing on your victories, on your successes. There's good things that you have done. I mean, if you think out throughout the whole day, there's something good that you do, there's something that gives you victory, at least for that day. So you need to focus on that, and you need to run with that rather than focusing on failure. Because when you're focusing on failure, you obviously become a failure. So, but when you find yourself focusing on your failure, then you must know that it is time for you to change your mind settings so that you don't focus on your failures. And then again, so there are sometimes when you find yourself feeling very angry when things don't go your way. It's similar to the failures. You're focusing on your failures and getting angry about your failures. When things don't go your way, yes, they have not gone your way, but what can you learn from there? You need to look at those things and say, where did I go wrong? Why did these things go against me, or why are things going against me? So instead of you beginning to be angry about things that have gone wrong, beginning to be angry about your failures, beginning to be angry about things that have not gone your way, you need to be asking yourself, so what do I do differently now so that I don't go back to the same situation? So that's another thing that we need to be thinking about. So if that is you, that you find yourself being angry about things not going your way, then it is time for your mindset mind settings change. Okay. And also there are times when you are unhappy and unsatisfied with everything that you have. I mean, here, for example, I'll use a live example of husband and wife. The wife is not happy about her husband. My husband comes late. My husband does this. Well, you should be happy that you have got that husband. Some people are not happy about their job. Oh, in my job, they ask me to do this, they ask me to do that. But you should be happy that you have got a job. Some children, teenagers, they are angry. They don't like their parents. They don't like their moms because they don't give them money. And instead of being happy that they have got a family, they have got a mom, they have got a dad, they are not happy that their dad don't have money. So, we need to be thinking about those things. So you must appreciate the things that you have rather than being unhappy about things that you have. We have so many things. Sometimes some people, are very angry or very unhappy, unsatisfied about the houses that they live in. At least they have got a house, but they're not happy about the house that they live in. Some people are not happy about the cars that they drive. Some people are not happy about the country that they live in. Some people are not happy about their neighborhood. There's so many things that we are not happy about. But at least you have got that neighborhood. At least you have got that house. At least you have got that something. So we need to be happy about the things that we have. Again, talking about that one as well, sometimes we find ourselves arguing with the people that we care about most. Husband and wife arguing, parents and children arguing, children and parents arguing, managers and colleagues, or managers and staff arguing. Right. So when we get to that stage where there's argument all the time, then we must know that there's something wrong, and it is me that has got to change. So you need to point a finger at yourself and say, I have got to change. Things cannot continue like that. So that's why you need the mindset changing. You cannot be arguing with your manager. You cannot be arguing with your parents. You cannot be arguing with your children. You cannot be arguing with your neighbors. So when you get to that stage where you're arguing, you need to think about having a mindset or mind setting changes, so that you change your mindset and you stop arguing. You build good relationships going forward. You become different. So mind setting changes makes you a different person, a person who is not the ordinary person on the street. So that's why if you are that person that is arguing with everyone, you must know that you need to change your mind settings, so that then you become the good person that you wish to be, or that you want to be, or that you want other people to be. While talking about other people, I just want to make it clear that I will not be able to change anyone, including my children, including my wife, including my brothers, including my family. I'm not going to be able to change anyone, but I am able to change myself. So I will change myself. And when I change myself, my family will change, everyone else around me will change, and everything else around me will change because of my changes. So changes begin with me. Changes begin with you. And unless you change, the situation that you are in will continue to be what it is. So that situation will only change when you change. Again, when we argue like this and complain about our work, it is because sometimes we feel we feel victimized. We feel that we are the victim all the time. The manager is victimizing me all the time. My parents are victimizing me all the time. My husband is victimizing me all the time. My neighbors are victimizing me all the time. Wherever you are, you feel you are a victim, and so because you feel you are a victim, you are always a victim, because that is how you feel. So you should feel like a victor. You should feel like victorious. You should feel like someone who is a conqueror. And so when you begin to feel like a conqueror, when you begin to think like a conqueror, when you begin to behave like a conqueror, you are not going to feel like a victim. So whenever it is you that you feel like a victim, then you must know that it is time for your mind settings change. Your mind settings have to change so that you feel like a victor. You feel like someone victorious. So don't ever feel like a victim. It doesn't matter what the situation is. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what happens. Even if you have been victimized, use that victimization situation to your advantage. But you can only do that when you get to a stage where you are able to change your mind settings. So if you feel like a victim, it's time for you to change your mind settings. Again, another thing that maybe you need to think about is Most of us worry so much about what happens next door, worry so much about what happens to that person, about what happens to that person. That's where you end up having gossipers, people gossiping. So if you find yourself gossiping, talking about other people and worrying about other people, then you must know that you need mind settings change, because you cannot be focusing on other people and what other people have done or not done, because whatever they do, it may have an impact on yourself, but for them to change, the change has got to begin with you. So do not worry about what other people have done. Worry about yourself. Worry about changing yourself. Change yourself, and then when you change yourself, everything else around will change. Around you will change. Everyone else around you will change. So this is the bottom line for us. For me, having to talk about the mind settings changes. I know that we've talked about a number of things over the 2017 months. Now we're coming to the end of the year, and so we need to be thinking: are we going to go into the new year the way we are or the way we have been? I know that most of us are going to be making resolutions. I'll make another video very soon about resolutions, and we maybe let me not go into that, but we'll make another video on about resolutions. So think about mind settings changes. These are the few things that I have listed here. If one of them is happening to yourself, then you must know that you need to change your mindset. So this is the second last video of 2017. Thank you. Bye.